Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
All day.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, bro. You'll get fucking thrown out by Big Tony. We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Don't blow it. Keep it simple. Count your money.
No, whatever it is.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is episode 44 with fellow comedian and mate Alex Jackson. It's a really cool episode. We recorded this a little while back to have in the bank to put out now. So I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed recording it. It was a pretty funny episode. We talk about like all this like comedy in Canberra versus the world stage, comedians we like. Talk about different drugs and their effects, which is pretty fun. And I don't think I've actually talked much about drugs on the show before, so that was cool to have a different type of take on things. And we do like this random phone sample between two characters, so listen out for that one as well, because that's good for a laugh. I mean, it's the impressions on my end aren't great, but it's still fun, whatever. For upcoming dates, I've got The Basement Comedy on the 20th of July, so that'll be of the date of release of this episode next week. And then we've got Boardwalk in Belconnen on the 29th of July, kicking off at 7:30. That's the erotic fan fiction night run by a friend of the show, Kai Fay, so check that one out. And then we've got Smith's Alternative on the 2nd of August, and that'll pull us up into next month. So there will be more dates around town that will be up, so make sure you check out my comedy page at Marky Worthington Comedy on Facebook and Instagram. Marky Comedy on Twitter, and if you're listening to the audio version of this episode, make sure you check out the YouTube channel at Marky Worthington Comedy on YouTube. It's got a bunch of other content as well. I do some gaming stuff as well. I think we talk a little bit about that in this episode. So yeah, a whole bunch of different spots you can find my shit. Make sure you check it all out. And if you have any questions or things you want to submit to the show, send it to markyworthingtoncomedy@gmail.com, and we'll check it out for the show. I've got a couple ideas on fan questions and random shit like that, so make sure you submit it all, and we'll fucking go from there. But until then, enjoy the episode. Cheers.
I love that it's the Marky Worthington podcast with Marky Worthington.
Hey, welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. You probably heard the intro before this intro, so we don't need to get into episode numbers or anything like that. You know what you're fucking listening to, and if you're listening to it, you found it, so I don't even need to do social shout-outs. I will, because I'm a psycho. But that's enough about me, man. Let's welcome our guest to the show. We got Alex Jackson. How you doing, bro?
G'day, guys. How you doing, man?
Good. Good to have you here, man. We been hanging out in the comedy scene for a little while now. It's been... Well, I think you came in, was it just after COVID or just before?
Look, I came in for a tiny bit pre-COVID,
Yeah.
and then obviously COVID happened, so I like to think of myself as a post-COVID comedian.
Yeah. It's like people that were born in 98 and say they're 90s kids.
Yeah.
Like you're like a pre-COVID.
Yeah, I'm just on the cusp, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got on stage pre-COVID, but you cut your teeth after.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, I just started, it took me a while. I've always wanted to be a comedian. Like, literally since I was 5, I said I wanted to be a clown. So, like, but it's taken me quite a while to get the confidence to go up there and to take the risk, you know?
Yeah.
To, like, push my energies towards that as being the main thing that I want to do. Because that can be scary.
Oh, yeah. Devoting all that fucking, like, nervous energy into positive.
Yeah, well, that's one of my favorite things to do, you know, is use my uncomfortability to make other people more comfortable and happy. And like, yeah, comedy's perfect for that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm terrible at audio, dude. Like I, instead of just like being a good host, as you're wrapping up your sentence, took a sip out of my tea. That's what kind of podcast we're dealing with here. For those of you that are watching the YouTube edition, the video, we got we're in the studio here. You can see I'm the good boy drinking my fucking tea. Alex has got his fucking
The very best.
long neck.
They did not sponsor this episode.
They've definitely been on the show before. They're like the unofficial sponsor of the show at this point.
The Valkyrie's beverage.
Yeah, we for those of you that are, just a quick shout out to the YouTube channel. So if you're listening to the audio edition and you want to get like the full experience, check out YouTube because you can see the video. Like it just, I talk a lot with my hands and I like have, I sometimes have like graphics and shit that I put up in the like background of the video, like to help explain what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a fair few of the people that tune in are audio only, so I'm trying to like migrate people over to check out the video as well.
Go check out the video, people. Cop a look. We're beautiful. Come on.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, so like always, we nearly accidentally did that thing where we spoke all the good shit outside of the episode, like where we just like, you know, have the best podcast before the podcast. But yeah, dude, we're just chatting. I can't remember what got us into it. We were chatting about about skating and videos and shit, dude. The fucking Belko Bowl Jam came up.
Yeah, dude, and the fucking dude, Belko Bowl is one of my favorite places. Like Belko Bowl's the only place that you'll see a man who has Belko tattooed over his belly button.
Yeah.
You know, in big letters like Tupac has thug.
Yeah. Just fighting with a guy that has Tuggeron tattooed over.
No, it says Thuggeron on. Just to really bring it home.
Did you see that photo of the dude that has Queen being across his back now too?
Dude, I did see that.
How good is that? We need like one more and it'd be like the fucking four horsemen of the
the four
apocalypse.
horsemen of the apocalypse. That's when you know everything's gone wrong.
All right, what's the fourth suburb? So you got Queanbeyan and Tuggeron and Belko. You've got to have another one.
Oh, where would you like?
Gunners.
Gunners, yeah, just straight gunners.
Yeah.
But just what'd you get? You get guns on your guns?
Yeah.
Did you get garlands? What's a garland?
I did. Actually, I think it's like up to a vote. It should be a poll. It's like Gunners or Woden, dude. You have to choose.
You do. Oh, dude, fucking.
I feel like Woden hasn't got as much of a following as Belko or Tuggers.
No, because like if you're in Woden, you're basically Tuggers anyway. Like Woden, no one cares.
You probably
about
work in Woden, but you live in Tuggers.
Exactly. So you can't be trusted.
Yeah, traitor.
Yeah. But dude, there's a big fucking controversy around the Belko Bowl that I wanted to talk about. And there's a dude who actually wrote a book about it. And I think the dude's mum wrote a book about it too. But there's a guy who reckons that he did the 900 in the Belko Bowl before Tony Hawk did it.
Oh, really?
So he reckons he was the first dude to do the 900, and then like somehow it got picked up through tape or whatever, and then that's when Tony Hawk did it, and that's when it became famous, and that's what like blew him up. But he reckons he did it first in the Belko Bowl.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Now there's no video evidence left of it. There's no pictures of it. There's just this dude and his mum's books about it. But like,
How do you write a book on doing the 900? Wouldn't you just be like, I did it? That's like one piece of paper.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you've ever read Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis.
No.
It's like he kind of just tells you how he did a million drugs in between like 4 or 5 stories that tell you how the band got together. So really, this guy's got a book about the time he did heroin in a trolley and got pushed down Benjamin Way. And in the middle of that is I did the 900 before fucking Tony Hawk.
Dude, I feel like fucking like when you compare the two stories, I mean, you got Tony Hawk, okay. Heroin in a trolley.
Look, fucking Tony Hawk was look, he's a more reliable source. Mm-hmm. He's a much more reliable.
He does have
source.
more games made after it.
Yeah, way more games. But this is like, and honestly, I would also love to find out that it is just this dude's delusion.
How fucking good would it be if it was true though?
Oh,
like,
dude.
I want it to be true.
It would be better if it was true, but it would also be awesome to know that this dude has like wrapped his mum up in this delusion that like they've just done so many drugs. They're fucking be like, we did the 900 first. My son would have been the Tony Hawk, but he wasn't. Like,
dude, how funny is that? Like, okay, if it comes to light that he actually did the 900, I don't know how they're going to prove it, but if they did, right, there has to be a game based on him instead of Tony Hawk Pro Skater where you just go down Benjamin Way in a trolley on fucking heroin.
Dude, fucking...
You have to pick up heroin as a fucking, like, power-up to, like, keep going further.
You can't pick up too much.
Someone has to make this fight. See, I'm not a game guy, right? Like, I'm not a game creator. I'm a game player. I spoke in the previous episode, actually. I had Phil Carruthers on. I spoke about the first game I ever made. It was basically Minesweeper. Okay. But with 5 parts of the phone, so you could put them together and call home because you played as E.T.
Okay.
So it was like E.T. was searching for 5 parts of the phone, so I could put them together. So it was reverse Minesweeper. You had to click on the spots that had the things. Yeah. But it was Minesweeper, stolen. And
completely plagiarized.
E.T., the worst game ever made on Atari, combined into the game I made to pass my Year 12 software class.
Oh, man.
So, hey.
But, like, and they didn't get you for plagiarism on any of that?
No, they're like, you made it yourself. Like, I literally coded it myself, yeah.
Well, yeah, if you fucking coded it yourself, yeah. Dude, what kind of code did you use?
I just used Java. Yeah. It was just like a grid 10 by 10 and fucking randomly just placed the parts of the phone.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Dude, like, sometimes, like, that's like, where's the line between inspiration and plagiarism, right? Like, because Minesweeper obviously inspired you, E.T. obviously inspired you, but taking the elements of those things doesn't necessarily incite plagiarism.
Yeah,
there's a line. There is a line.
It's the same. So there's 2 points on that. There's one, like, we have that a lot in comedy.
Yes.
I'm so fucking influenced by so many comedians that I love, and the last thing I want to do is rip them off, and then subconsciously I'll write a joke, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's great, and then I'll be watching the special, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's very similar to that.
Dude, there is someone in Canberra right now who's doing a bit from Half Baked. In Dave Chappelle's movie Half Baked, and I don't know, and I haven't told them yet. And it's like, because you got to be soft with that stuff. You don't want to be accusatory.
Yeah.
Because sometimes creativity just happens like parallel and simultaneous.
Yeah.
But also, like, you ain't never sucked no dick for no crack cocaine being replaced with you ain't never sucked no dick. You ain't never sucked no dick for no weed being replaced with you ain't never sucked no dick for no coffee.
Yeah.
Is the exact same joke.
Yeah, it is. It's like there's certain parts in jokes where you're like, oh, I don't really know whether that was rip off or just parallel thinking. Like, so I was saying there's 2 things. The other thing that I wanted to bring up about that is, like, Rob Zombie said it best, because Rob Zombie is like, and Manson, they like sort of have a lot of samples from other songs.
Yeah.
Zombie's just like, dude, at this point, I'm a massive Rob Zombie fan. I'll actually see if I can, if you're watching the YouTube video, I'm gonna put up a thing like here, where he's just like, actually, no, I've already been fucked by plagiarism on some of my game streams, because I was playing Doom.
Oh, dude.
And the fucking backing track got detected as copyright because I wasn't, like, talking over it enough.
Is that
like,
the new Doom with, like,
No, N64, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, old school. Killer bass riff in this one. It's like a different song for every level, I think.
It is.
Yeah. So I think it was about 5 or 6 levels in. It actually detected the song.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I normally talk over the top quite a bit, but I think I was
enough to muffle it out.
Yeah. So I was kind of like stuck on this like intense bit, and I was like just quiet for a moment. So it just kind of picked up on it.
Dude, have you heard the soundtrack on the new Doom?
No.
Dude, they got a heavy metal choir. Like a choir of people who can do the screams and shit like that.
Fuck yeah.
It's intense. It's incredible. It's beautiful. It's satanic in the sense as the opposite of angelic. Yeah.
Actually, my buddy's just kicked off. He's soon going to put out an album. It's called Project Ultimate Satan.
Oh shit.
Canberra-based band.
What are the boys?
And I've been elected to be in the Satanic Choir for their live shows.
What's their name?
So that's it. As part of part of Project Ultimate Satan. That's the name of the project.
Okay, that's sick.
That's the name. They have a sick logo too. He won't care if I put that logo here. Okay, fuck the Rob Zombie bit. I'm putting the logo here. I'm holding the logo. They actually do have like a satanic choir verse in a couple of their songs, or samples in the songs. So yeah, that's like really cool though.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so I was saying about Rob Zombie. He was like, at this point, nearly every riff, every like chord, everything's been played. All we can do is speed it up or slow it down and reorganize it.
Yeah.
And it's the same with a lot of jokes. Like, killing in the 80s for comedy was just a matter of being like socially observant. Whereas now we need to go to like a different fucking level to get that same response.
Yeah, you need to be like meta. You need to observe social observance. And even observing social observance has kind of been done recently. So now we need to observe the fact that people are observing social observance. Yeah. And it can be hard to be that intricate while being that, and because good comedy is simple. Like it's easy to understand.
Yeah.
But it's easy. It makes intricate, complex things easy to understand, I find.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you're just sitting there going like, it's too complicated if only the comedians laugh. Like, because you're putting on a show for comedians that know what it's like to write jokes.
Yeah, yeah. And you can't be a comics comic. Like, not in Australia right now. If you want to make it, you can be a comics comic within the boys and stay in Canberra forever, but there's no money for spots for you to be sitting down there and doing stuff like that. So you gotta diversify. You don't get those comedians. As much as it is in like a massive economy somewhere like America, where people of your and my caliber would already be like having paid spots type of thing. Whereas in Canberra, you've got to organize and make all this shit happen. Like, you got to work your ass off, because we're working with an economy that's like has the population of just one state in America.
Yeah.
Whereas they can pop around between, like, they go to 300 million different people, and even if you get super popular in Australia, you're barely popular in LA.
Yeah. It's like when Doug Stanhope came to Australia, he did some radio with Dave Hughes.
Oh, true.
And he was just like, he did like a spot on there, and Stanhope was like, who the fuck is Dave Hughes?
Yeah.
He's like, he must be famous because he's got like fucking whatever 1,000 fucking Twitter followers in a country that doesn't use Twitter.
Yeah.
That was how he knew that he was famous, because he was like, oh, he actually has followers, unlike most people in Australia.
Yeah.
So he must be famous.
Oh man, Dave Hughes. There's this old Dave Hughes joke that I still tell all the time. Every time I walk past a packet of Allen's Snakes Alive, we'll be like, look at them. No ear holes. They're all dead.
Oh, he's got a great one. He does that I call it Hughesy stare.
Oh.
You know when people do that thing where they're like, the punch doesn't hit as hard until they just pause and stare at the audience and like do that like moment of realization.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a punch at the moment that doesn't hit as hard until I'm just like, oh fuck. Like, it's actually on my YouTube. So I'm not burning it. It's a bit that I have about my ex-girlfriend staying at her friend's place for the night.
Okay.
And I just blaze over it. Like, I start the bit with like saying that, like, you know, we're on the rocks. And then I'm like, anyway, so I was at home the other morning. My girlfriend was still at her friend's place from the night before. And then I like do the like, oh fuck, like, and that's when it hits harder, because it's just like, oh shit. You have that moment where it looks like I just realized that she cheated on me, and it doesn't hit as like, it doesn't come across that way at first.
No.
Part of doing a bit, and a lot of my jokes, I'll like actually just do it for the first time on stage, happen to record it, and then just release it. Because I'll be like, fuck that. Like, I'm done with that joke. Like, it's about an ex-girlfriend. I'm not going to write a joke about my ex-girlfriend for a year. You know, by then I might have another girlfriend, and I like to make sure all my comedy is, like, related to my current situation. Like, a lot of people will talk about, like, being single and all that sort of shit when they're, like, they've been doing that bit for so long, they've been married for 5 years. And it's, like, so hard for me to do that. Like, other people can get away with it, but I can't act like that. Like, I like to be real.
Well, that's another thing as a comedian, right? You're trying to, like, manufacture authenticity. Every time you tell the story, it's supposed to seem like you're telling it on the spot for the first time.
Yeah.
Every time. And manufacturing that authenticity means creating boundaries in your creative process. So if you don't want to talk about being single when you're not single because it doesn't feel authentic, then that's the way to go. Like,
yeah, I mean, I can sort of bend it a little bit. For example, I'll have, like, a bit about, you know, me doing something stupid at, like, a party or some shit.
yeah.
And then I'll just, like, kind of, like, hyper expose that. Like, I'll make it, like, there'll be, like, the real story, I did this. The bit, I did that. Like, for the story, I did this.
Yeah.
You know, and it'll be based on a true story, but I'll be like, you know, let's, like, heighten it a little bit.
Speaking in hyperbole.
Yeah. It's kind of like, or I'll get 2 nights and merge it into one. Mm-hmm. Like, to make it, not for the sake of, like, trying to be a hard cunt, but, like...
Just to show you I can make 2 nights, 1 night.
Yeah. Actually, kind of to be a hard cunt. But, no, but it'll be just... like, for efficiency, I'll just jam it all together. Like, instead of just being like, yeah, and then another night this happened, I'll just be like, then we went to this place and that happened. Like, it just makes it, like, a bit tighter for stage.
Yeah, well, you got to be careful of what some comedians call the word economy. Like, you want to try and use as little words as you can to get your point across, because if you start to fucking overtalk too much, it starts to sound like Tolkien telling you that Aragorn's walking down a stream and you have to fucking know what every single rock looks like.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not that funny. People start to go like, ugh,
Yeah,
at ya,
yeah.
and you don't want fucking ugh at you. But that's the trick. It's like finding out what's important, distilling it, and then projecting that. And not everyone's good at that. That's why we think some people are funny.
Or some people will change their style of comedy to be more like, you know, storytelling or some shit.
Yeah.
And they'll get, like, a select group of people that really like that style of comedy, and they'll build, like, a loyal following of people, but it will take ages to fucking get anywhere.
Dude, I have this entire, like, style of comedy that I've never done on stage. It's only really for, like, my friends and family, that I literally can't do on stage because it's me imitating a black guy. But it's so good. Like, it's so good. But with the times we live in these days, I can't come up and start doing Cat Williams.
Yeah.
I can't start doing Dave Chappelle and all those mannerisms that I've picked up from them, which is a big part of my comedy. People fucking... I'm not sure if people will, but it feels like people are going to scream cultural appropriation.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, man, like, I feel like you get a lot of leniency if it's funny. Like,
It's got, dude, be, what's the word? Be undeniable.
Yeah. That's a Chappelle quote, isn't it?
Yeah. Be undeniable. That is Chappelle. Yeah. Because if you are...
That is literally Chappelle. Like,
it is Chappelle. It is Chappelle.
You somehow found a way to still impersonate him.
God, you see, it's so much a part of who I am. Yeah, you have to be undeniable, because then they can't say anything. If you are that fun.
Yeah, it's like I heard a good Chappelle story on the Joey Diaz podcast. They had this comedian on there. Her name's Kate Quigley, and she said that she was kind of tagging along with, like, doing a couple of spots when Chappelle was there. Yeah. And they were with, like, 2 other comedians maybe, and 3 of them were, like, sort of stand on the side of out the front of the comedy club, and she's like, what do you want to do? And they're like, well, let's go get some food. So she's hanging out with Chappelle and one other comedian, and they're all eating. And she's like, oh, what are we up to after this? I suppose I better go home. And Dave's just like, it's only 12 o'clock. There's plenty more fucking open mics to do. And she was like, holy shit, like, this is what makes you who you are. You don't give a fuck about, like, what time it is. If there's mics, there's stage time you can do, then he's doing it.
Yeah.
And that just goes back to that, like, work ethic and trying to fucking get, like, as much stage time as possible.
Yeah, dude, you don't become the GOAT by not putting in the hours, you know? But that's also, like, the most incredible thing about people like Dave Chappelle is they make working that hard look really fucking easy. And that's what I aspire to, you know? Like, trying to be so good at what you do that other people don't think that you work really, really, really fucking hard at it. And that's what you got to do. And it's also, a part of that is, like, shutting the fuck up, you know, and just doing your time and trying to wait. But also, like, Dave Chappelle never shut the fuck up. He was, like, the GOAT since he was 19. Like, asked people who was in the club with him when he was young, and they were like, there was never a time he wasn't amazing. That was just a feeling. And some people with that, you just get that, you know? Like, you fucking get that. But that doesn't exist at the level where he is without following that and staying there and going to the 12:30 mics and fucking staying on stage for 4 hours and smoking cigarettes no matter who's trying to kick you off. Like, I'm often trying to find a balance between, like, caring about people but having enough self-respect to not be like a martyr and fucking, like, take control of my own happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking...
It's a fucking fine line, isn't it? Trying to work out the balance.
Yeah, dude. Everything's fucking balanced. Like, it goes back to fucking skateboarding, man.
Like a pro got the fucking call back in there.
But, yeah, dude, it's fucking, I know I sound like a bit of a whingy bitch, but every single problem in my life that I always end up coming up against, I'm like, oh, is it fucking balance again? Are you fucking serious? Do I just need to have, like, self-control and try not to do too much or too little again?
Yeah.
Jesus, like, can I learn this fucking lesson?
Fuck, man. That happens with me a lot. Like, I tend to, like, I dive into stuff pretty deep. And then I'll just fucking, like, immerse myself in shit, like projects or whatever I decide to do. And then until I burn myself out. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I went in too hard. Like, but the thing is, I always know if something doesn't work out, it's not because I didn't try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I go in so hard on everything I do that if it doesn't work out, it's like, well, I fucking gave it a shot. Whereas, like, you ever met people that, like, just fucking like, oh, yeah, I've kind of done that on and off for 10 years. Don't really like it. Like, well, fucking why'd you do it for so long? Like, you waste your time and energy doing something that you don't really not really into.
Oh, man. Like, people who are yeah, I have met people like that.
Jobs and shit. People like work. Like, people are like, I never really liked accounting. My dad was an accountant and I just got into it.
There could be relationships. I never really liked Julia that much, but she was, like, good with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
fuck. Yeah, dude.
You know, like, and people end up in these crazy places and they fucking explode. And that's what I like. And that's where, like, sometimes, yeah, coming in too hot, it's good to put your best effort in, but it's always, it's like to know when to rest, you know, so you don't burn out, so that spark doesn't die too quickly. Learning how to nurture passion has been a big part of growing up for me.
Yeah, right.
You know, not just being like, oh, I'm going to put all my passion into this and be like, yeah.
Pretty much me.
Yeah, because that's sick and it feels awesome, but, like, sometimes you put all your passion into things and then you cash in all your chips at that casino and you don't get to go there anymore. And it fucking sucks. Like,
yeah. You can wreck stuff for yourself.
Yeah, like for me, that was amphetamines. Like legit, I had a heart attack when I was 21 years old because I was addicted to amphetamines. And I love stimulants. I absolutely love the feeling of stimulants being stimulated and the creativity and shit, but I can't do them anymore. I fucking went too hard, too fast, thought I was going to touch the moon and almost died. And that's
Fucking hell.
yeah, it's a very real situation for that, but it happens over and over again in my life in heaps of different things where I still haven't learned the lesson not to come in too hot. How to be smooth and cool when you come in, so you can ride it out for a bit longer.
Dude, that happens so much in the comedy industry. Like, so many comedians have that personality.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it's like in most situations you might think like, maybe like 1 in 30 people is like that. In the comedy industry, it's no fucking coincidence that it's like 1 in 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, comedy attracts that kind of personality. Like, you're just so, like, I'm just so fucking intense when it comes to shit that I've had to learn to like chill out. The thing is, like, people that have addictive personalities, they never, like, not often do they actually stop being an addictive person. They just stop being addicted to the thing they're addicted to. Yeah. Like, they'll get off booze or they'll get off fucking whatever, and they're like, they'll just direct that into something else. They're like always an addict. They've just changed a healthier thing to be addicted to.
Well, yeah, because sometimes you can realize that the things, like, if you have like addiction in your blood, those are the cards you're sort of dealt, which is something I do think tends to happen to people, you know. Like, I think just more people are more prone to addiction than others. But if you have that in your blood, I lost where I was going for a second. If you have addiction in your blood,
it's like me, dude. Like, I'm the same. Like, I just don't direct it into shit that like is gonna fucking kill me straight away.
Dude, yeah, that's it. You can recognize that you don't have to be addicted to things that are self-destructive. You can be addicted to the gym. You can be addicted to drinking water. Sometimes it can be less satisfying, but you can retrain your brain to not be so susceptible to instant gratification. Like, you can retrain your brain to learn to want rewards that take a long time to get, rather than just eating candy bars all the time and fucking hitting a button that puts a dopamine light in your head.
Yeah, true.
Like, candy bars is another, but yeah, you can retrain your brain to want, as an addict, you can be addicted to like long-term pleasure. Rather than short-term pleasure. And a lot of short-term pleasures...
It's like edging.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that like a lot of short-term pleasures are bad for you. If it's easy and it feels good, it's probably not the best for you. And that sucks, but that's life.
How crazy is it that there's such a you're speaking about balance, dude? There is literally everything has that, though. Like, you can't just be like, imagine if you could just eat whatever you wanted and fucking do whatever drugs or drink whatever you wanted, and there was no long-term effects of that. There wouldn't be a sober person out there.
No.
Like, no one would fuck with anything aside from... Imagine how, like, much we wouldn't give a fuck about things if we could just get whatever we wanted and it didn't affect us at all. Like, and also...
Or, like, and how quickly would that become shit?
Yeah. How quickly would you not want to fucking... eat whatever you wanted anymore?
Yeah, well, that would be mediocre. We'd all have to be doing heroin on the moon because, like, a beer at 4 o'clock in the afternoon is not doing it anymore.
I heard of a really good fucking interview. I forgot who it was. It was like one of the old rock and roll guys. I want to say Iggy Pop. I can't remember. Anyway, they're just like, so in the end, why were you doing... I'm going to misquote the person, but I know what he said. Mm-hmm. And the rest can just be Googled. We fucking lazy cunts. Just fucking Google what I say.
It'll be right there.
Yeah, it'll get the better of me, and I'll put it there. He was like, they were like, so in the end, why did you end up doing like heroin? What kept you in it? And he's like, by the end, man, I was just doing heroin so I could shave in the mornings. That's what level you get to.
Yeah. You're just like, I just wanna look presentable. You know. Heroin's a really funny one, man. Heroin is one of the only drugs that we know of that, like, the drug itself doesn't have that many negative effects on your body. Like, it doesn't fuck with your liver, doesn't, like, kill your brain cells, doesn't, like, make your blood thicker or thinner or anything like that. But as soon as you take it away, you get sick. You start fucking dying. And it's like the only other drugs we know that are even similar to that is alcohol and benzos. So like Xanax, and fucking Valium and shit like that.
Yeah.
But there's these like benzos and Valium, benzos and alcohol are actually quite bad for your body. But heroin, it's such a weird thing that it can be so destructive, but only really be destructive once it's needed and then taken away.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Fucking hell. It's like Bill Burr said that thing on, I think it was on Conan. I can't remember. He was on a talk show. He's just like, I don't know what it is about heroin, but all I can say is if you do it once, you have a six-pack for the rest of your life.
Dude, it is. You get that shit. It's called heroin shit.
Yeah, you look like the fucking dude from the Iron Maiden front cover, like album cover.
Eddie?
Yeah, dude. You get that Eddie bod.
Dude, girls want to fuck Eddie.
Yeah, they do.
Or the right girls.
Bad good girls.
Yeah.
Or good bad girls. I don't know.
Oh, it's all the same to me, baby. My number is...
It's all rock and roll.
It's all rock and roll.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I remember I saw Iggy Pop at like one of the last big day outs a couple of whiles ago. And man, he looked like a bag of bones wrapped in some like old suntanned leather.
Yeah,
yeah. And he was not wearing many clothes either. But it was a fucking good show. Belted out a mad show, but whoa.
He looked like the outside of that Christmas ham you cut off. You know that bit?
Yes, that's his skin had that exact complexion.
Oh fuck, dude. Yeah, dude. I've seen Iggy Pop on Viva La Bam. I think he was on an episode of Bam. Yeah. Fucking interesting episode, that one, because I full backstage with him and shit.
Oh,
it's
shit.
worth, yeah. I think it's on YouTube. There's just like these clips, but I think it was Iggy Pop that had this quote, and I quote it all the time. I quoted this when I fucking when I I'll tell you a story in a minute where I quoted this. So actually, fuck it, I'm telling the story and then I'm telling the quote. I'm not gonna wreck my own story. So I broke my ankle playing ice hockey.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, dude, my fucking I thought it was just really badly sprained, but it was bent the wrong direction. Like I was just oblivious to the fact that it was actually broken. I was in denial because we had a game on Sunday, and I was like, should be right. And it was on a Monday night, so I'm like, I've nearly got a week to get over this. Anyway, so I come out. I'm still wearing like all my ice hockey gear. The only difference is I've taken the fucking skates off. So I'm just in like DCs with like a full ice hockey kit still on, just taking the helmet off. I'm using my ice hockey stick to lean on. And my buddy's like, hey man, do you want me to get your car and bring it over? Like, are you sure you're good to drive, dude? Like, it's your right foot. It's like you're probably gonna need that to drive. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking good. I'm gravy. So I'm standing there. I'm holding myself up with the fucking stick. He pulls up, and I was listening to hip hop on the way to fucking to ice hockey, and I just got out, turned the car off, didn't turn the music off, right? Yeah. And he's driving my car for the first time. He doesn't know where all the fucking buttons are. So he just rolls up. Music's still at the same level, same song still playing. There's a hip-hop guy from Brooklyn called Necro.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's just cranking fucking Necro head split, rolls up, which coincidentally was used in the movie Goon. So it was like a...
Dude,
yeah.
I love Goon.
Yeah, so...
Sean William Scott, William Scott, whatever his million
Yeah,
names
yeah,
are.
yeah, Stifler. So when fucking he... When one of the other enforcers walks into the fucking change room for the first time, Necro's playing. Yeah, so I was just like, fuck yeah. So it's come full circle. The fucking thing's pulled up next to me. I'm holding myself up with the ice hockey stick, and I like hobble over to the car, open up the back door, threw the fucking stick in there. He gets out. I jump in the car. I'm still got shoulder pads and everything still on. Pull the door shut. I'm sitting there, arm on the fucking window. I look over and my whole team is just all out the front of the ice hockey place, and like half of them are smoking durries, the other half are drinking beers. That's what ice hockey's about. And
I like ice hockey.
It's like the first time I rolled up for a drop-in session. There's a dude just drinking a fucking beer out the front, like smoking a cigarette. And I'm just like, oh, you come to watch the game, are you, mate? And he's like, nah, I'm fucking playing goalie tonight, man. It's like, shit, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Just explains why you don't have to move far.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, so I look over, I've got my arm on the window, and I just, like, turn back, I see them all standing there. I'm just like, waiting to see if anyone has anything to say before I fucking leave, because I'm like, I might die. One of them just goes, you sure you don't want me to drive, bro? And I'm like, don't try and tell your daddy how to fuck, and drove off. And I'm like, halfway home, and I'm like, oh, that was Iggy Pop that said that.
Tell your daddy how to fuck.
In that Bam episode, Bam says to him, he just opens a bottle of Jack and starts drinking, and he hasn't even gone out for the gig yet. This isn't pre-gig. This is pre-gig, not post.
Yeah.
And Bam just goes like, should you be drinking that much before you play? And that's when he said it.
Tell your daddy how to fuck.
And I was just like, oh, fuck yeah. So just like with comedy, dude, that went into the memory bank, and I said it without remembering who I was quoting. I only remembered the quote.
Oh, dude. Well, you remembered it now.
Yeah, dude, I fucking got the quote, but yeah. Well, I said we'd run half an hour. We'll wrap it up with that, man. But we got like a sound sample we're working on for after this, so we're gonna chuck that in after this episode. So we'll wrap it up now, and then we'll get into our fucking cool little sket that we thought of, eh?
Fuck yeah, man. Thanks for having me. And I'm just going to fucking plug, if you guys have Spotify, jump on and look for Senzu Beans for the Soul. SENZU Beans for the Soul. Like Dragon Ball Z. Listen to me and my son talk about shit.
Fuck yeah, dude. No, mad plug. And I appreciate anyone that got the reference before you needed to say Dragon Ball Z.
Hopefully they're not listening. If I shouldn't give the reference, you know? If you don't get it, don't listen.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, no, thanks for listening, and thanks for being on the fucking show, dude.
Thank you for having me.
We'll get into this fucking sample, but it'd be rad to have you back again some other time.
Yeah, please, let's do it.
Don't buy me a drink. Just name names. Yeah, right. Big Tony, you'll get fucking thrown out of the strip club with your floppy disk.
All day.
Make people feel shame for shit all day.
Don't blow
Turn
it.
it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking... We're here to...
Keep it simple. Count your money.
That they're not proud of. Come on, man, pick up. Come on.
Hello?
Hey, dude, what's going on? Steve-O.
Ah. I'm alright, dude. How you dude? Dude.
Oh man, dude, I really need some. Look, I'm on this health kick shit, right?
Yeah, you need some of that K?
No. I need some garlic horseradish pills. I'm still smoking cigarettes tonight, but I'm gonna need some. Some rhubarb, apple spinach. What you got, man?
Man, you know I don't fuck with that shit. I got some heroin-soaked pecans.
No, not tonight, man. Not tonight. Looking more like you got some truffle butter steaks, maybe.
Look, man, I've been working with this guy. He's making juices. How about a pro juices?
Pro? None of that sugary shit like booze, right?
No. Like, what we do is, because I know you're all about saving the fucking planet. I saw you on the SeaWorld shit. What we're going to do, right, is all that fucking extra fruit and shit they leave after when it's not the right size and shit, we'll get all that shit, juice it for you professionally.
Ah, man. You know you got the shit juice, man. Oh, thanks for hooking me up, dude. Whoa. Okay. All right. Okay. Look, I was chasing the idea of getting this healthy shit, but how many nangs you got?
How much money you got?
I reckon let's do 4 bags of K and 3 nangs just to go with the fucking with the juice.
All right. I saw that VH1 special, so it's going to be double.
Consider it done, my homie.
Cool. I'll see you on the horse out back in 5.
Just give me $10.
All right.